I freeze in the doorway of my parents' house, sunlight slanting across the floors. I'm here to pick up my boys. My mom insisted on watching them while I finished a work call, but the voices from the kitchen stopped me in my tracks. Let Sasha's kids eat first. Leo and Micah can have the leftovers. My mother's voice, sharp and casual, drifts through the hall like she doesn't think anyone's listening. Sasha laughs, soft and mean. They might as well get used to it. Kids like them don't need much. My heart starts pounding. I take 3 quiet steps forward so I can see into the dining room. There's Emma and Liam, my sister's kids, at the table with plates piled high with steaming lasagna. The good plates, the ones Mom saves for holidays. Then my eyes fall to the kitchen floor. Leo and Micah, 7 and 5, cross-legged on the tile, paper plates on their laps. Cold sandwiches, not even cut the way they like. My dad, Warren, glances up from his recliner, newspaper lowered. They need to learn their place in this world. Time just stops. The air feels tight, like I'm underwater. I watch my boys, their heads down, shoulders curled in, and I know that look now, shame. How many times have they sat like this while I was busy working? How many signals have I missed? My hands shake. Anger builds in my chest, hot and solid. Boys, I say, my voice barely there, get your backpacks. 5 heads snap toward me. My mom's face shifts instantly, suddenly all bright, fake smile. Oh, we didn't hear you come in. Sasha fiddles with her silverware, not meeting my eyes. The boys said they wanted sandwiches. The lie hangs between us. Leo looks up, his eyes so much like Marcus's, and meets mine. No words, just a silent understanding and something else. Resignation. Micah gets up, voice small and tight. Can we go home now? That's it. That's everything I need to know. This isn't the first time. Warren waves a hand, paper rustling. They're fine. Stop being so sensitive. My mind flashes to my checkbook, still in my purse. Just last month, $8, $200 for their new roof. The year before, $4, $500 for Sasha's minivan. 7 years of writing checks since I got my first real job at 27. 7 years of Marcus quietly warning me, they call you for money, not for dinner. I feel the weight of co-signing their mortgage, $315,000, pressing on my shoulders. How many times have I defended them? That's just how they show love. They're old-fashioned. The word turns sour in my mouth. My mom, Beatrice, steps toward me, coffee cup outstretched like a peace offering. You're always in such a rush. Stay for coffee. Sasha chimes in, all breezy. It's not a big deal. Kids don't care about this stuff. I walk past them, grab the boys' jackets from the hook. I notice how quickly Leo and Micah gather their things, Leo quietly helping Micah zip up. They've done this before, escaping, fast and quiet, hoping nobody notices. Don't make a scene, Warren warns, folding his newspaper with exaggerated care. You're overreacting. I take a breath. Something hardens inside me. We're leaving. We're not coming back until you explain this. Sasha's glare could cut glass. Beatrice's hands flutter at her throat, panic starting to show. Warren looks less sure of himself as I refuse to back down. Leo grabs Micah's hand, standing between him and the world in a way no kid should have to. We head for the door, and my eyes catch on the family photos in the hallway. Suddenly, I see it, Sasha's family in the center of every shot. Me, Marcus, the boys, always pushed to the edge, like we're easy to crop out. When the door clicks behind us, it sounds final. Outside in the gold late afternoon light, holding my son's hands, I finally see it all. This isn't new. I just didn't want to see it. I squeeze their hands and lead them to the car away from a house that feels like less of a home and more like the scene of a slow, drawn-out crime I've been paying for all these years. That night at home, I sat cross-legged on our bed, laptop perched on my knees. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, not really typing, just frozen. The spreadsheet glared at me, the greenish light filling the room, making everything feel harsher. 7 years of transactions. 7 years of proof. It all stared at me like a digital record of how easily I let myself get used. Marcus showed up in the doorway with a mug of chamomile tea. He didn't say anything, just set it on my nightstand and watched my face. The crease between his brows told me plenty. He was worried, but not going to push. Not yet. $98,000, I whispered. The number felt like it scraped my throat raw. 7 years of emergencies, of just a little help. Marcus sat down next to me. The mattress sank under his weight. He stayed quiet, which honestly felt kinder than I deserved after how many times I'd brushed off his concerns. I pulled up another document, one I'd started only hours ago after we'd left my parents' place. This one was a list, a petty, meticulous list, of the times my family turned their backs when we needed help. My gallbladder surgery 2 years ago, when Beatrice claimed she was too busy to watch the boys. Moving to a new house, suddenly Warren's back was out. Leo's hospital stay, and Sasha worried her kids might catch something. My phone buzzed. A text from my mother. "You're being dramatic. Come back tomorrow." I almost laughed. Marcus reached for my hand. His was warm. Mine felt like ice. "Keira," he said quietly, "they've never invited us for Christmas morning. Always the afternoon." The words hit me hard. Every Christmas for 6 years, told to come after presents because morning is our special family time. I'd never really wondered why Sasha's family got to be there for that special time, but we never did. I scrolled through my old voicemails. Warren's messages all followed the same script. Friendly hello, a quick check-in, then the ask. "Sweetheart, the property taxes went up again. Just a small bump in our support would help tremendously." As if I owed them endless money just for being their kid. Sasha's texts were just as telling, always calling my boys those boys, never using their names, constant nitpicks about how they looked. "Micah's hair is getting so ethnic. Have you thought about straightening it?" Plans canceled last minute, always with some flimsy excuse. Then there was Beatrice, caught somewhere between guilt and occasional kindness. Her messages swung wildly, one day a guilt trip, the next a rare moment of affection. Just enough to keep me confused, never enough to make me feel safe. But what really made my stomach drop? I found Warren's name still listed as the boys' emergency contact at school. I thought I'd changed that months ago. And Sasha, as PTA secretary, had access to all the forms. Guess I shouldn't have been surprised. I closed my laptop around midnight, but couldn't sleep. At 2 a.m., I stood in the doorway of my son's room, watching them breathe, the glow from Micah's turtle night light making them look even smaller. "They don't love my children the way they should," I whispered. It was so obvious now, I couldn't believe I'd missed it. Moving quietly through the house, I started taking down family photos from the hallway. In one from Leo's kindergarten graduation, Sasha's kids are front and center. Mine are half cut off at the edge. Another from Thanksgiving, Micah reaching for a dinner roll, and my dad's hand blocking him. The gesture caught on camera, saying everything words never did. Marcus found me trading out those pictures for ones of just us camping, beach trips, backyard barbecues. In these, the boys' smiles actually reached their eyes. "It's time to protect our boys," he said, taking a silver frame from my hands. "They deserve better." Tears slid down my cheeks. But this time, something felt different. The guilt that used to choke me hardened into something sharper. Something tough enough to start cutting through the mess I'd let myself get tangled in. "I've been financing my children's rejection," I said. The words just hung there between us. The next morning, I called Sarah, my best friend since college. "I need to tell you what happened," I said, my voice steadier than I expected. When I finished, the silence on the other end stretched so long I thought we'd been disconnected. "I've seen it for years," Sarah finally said. "I didn't know how to tell you." That's what broke me. Just knowing I wasn't crazy. I wasn't overreacting. Suddenly, help showed up from places I hadn't even thought to look. Marcus's parents offered support, no questions asked. My coworker Taylor sent me resources about racial bias in families. My boss gave me personal days, with a look that said she understood more than I'd ever said out loud. By evening, I've actually started making real changes, cutting off the automatic monthly transfers to my parents, calling the mortgage company to get my name off the house, telling the bank not to approve any new credit in my name, closing the family emergency fund I've been running for almost 8 years. Each move should feel like a win, I guess, but there's this emptiness underneath. I'm taking control, but only because things got so out of hand in the first place. My body knows it before my mind does. The tension sits at the base of my skull, blooming into headaches. I can't sleep, just lying there staring at the ceiling. My chest is tight all the time. But underneath all that, something new is taking root, a kind of foundation, a boundary I should have built years ago, finally starting to hold. 2 days later, I'm listening to my dad's voicemail for the third time. His voice fills the kitchen, big and demanding as ever. Keira, there's a banking error. The transfer didn't go through. Call me back immediately. He sounds so sure it's a mistake. But it's not. I stopped the payment on purpose, finally. My thumb hovers over the delete button. I save it instead. Proof. The phone buzzes again. Beatrice's fourth call today. I let it go to voicemail. I already know what she'll say, her voice always trembling just enough to make me feel guilty. Sweetheart, please call us back. The mortgage payment is due next week. We'll lose the house if you don't help. How could you do this to us? Marcus is across the counter, watching me carefully. You okay? He asks. I breathe in, steadying myself with the words I've been practicing in therapy. No error, Dad. Just boundaries. It feels strange, saying it out loud. Strange, but good, like tasting something I thought I'd hate, only to realize I actually like it. I'm better than okay, I tell Marcus, and I'm surprised by how much I mean it. The doorbell rings. Micah comes running in from the living room. I'll get it, he shouts. Wait, I start, but he's already at the door. He opens it and there's Sasha, standing on the porch with that look of sisterly concern she wears like armor. My stomach knots. Auntie Sasha. Micah lights up and my heart aches. He doesn't know yet. Sasha steps inside like she owns the place. Keira, we need to talk. This has gone far enough. Micah, go finish your homework with Leo, I say, keeping my voice even. He hesitates, feeling the tension, then disappears down the hall. You can't just show up at my house, I tell her. I tried your office first, she says, like that makes it better. Your assistant wouldn't let me in. Taylor had already texted me, your sister's here. I told her you're in meetings all day. Should I call security? I was grateful then. Now, I'm just angry. You went to my work? That's not okay. Sasha waves me off. Family comes first, Keira. You used to get that. That makes me laugh, sharp and bitter. Family comes first? Is that why my sons were eating sandwiches on the kitchen floor while your kids had lasagna at the table? She flushes. You're still being dramatic about that. Mom explained, get out, I say, my voice low and steady. She blinks, genuinely shocked. What? Get out of my house. Now. Marcus appears at my side, calm and solid. You heard her, Sasha. Time to leave. After she's gone, the house feels lighter. Marcus orders pizza, a treat on a weeknight. We eat around the coffee table, watching whatever movie the boys pick. I hear Leo and Micah laughing, really laughing, shoulders loose, eyes bright. I haven't seen them this relaxed in ages. Later, after the kids are in bed, Marcus finds me at the kitchen table. I'm scrolling through a mess of missed calls and messages. Uncle Robert asking why I abandoned the family. Cousin Jennifer wondering if I'm having some kind of breakdown. An anonymous post in the community Facebook group questioning my family values. Marcus sits down next to me. You know what I noticed tonight? I look up. What? I've never seen you stand this tall. The tears come fast, surprising me. Not sad tears, relief, like something inside me finally let go. I was never the problem, I whisper. It clicks into place. I was the solution they kept using. Marcus squeezes my hand. Start writing it down. All of it. So I do. The journal becomes my shield. Every manipulation, every so-called emergency loan, every little dig at Marcus or the boys. I write it all down. 7 years of financial transfers, all tracked down to the cent, each one tangled up with some new favor or expectation. It's a pattern that's hard to miss. Money out, affection in, but only if I play by the rules. 2 days after the last argument, Beatrice wants to meet at Copperleaf Coffee. Neutral ground, she says. Fine. This time, I'm ready for her. She shows up exactly 15 minutes late, red-eyed, just enough to pull sympathy from strangers. Not late enough for me to leave, just long enough for my coffee to go cold and my patience to start fraying. Sweetheart, she whispers, lowering her voice like we're sharing some secret. You know how certain neighbors talk. We're just keeping things comfortable. I slip my hand into my pocket and start recording on my phone. What exactly do you mean, Mom? Her gaze flicks to the next table, where an old couple pretends not to listen. You know exactly what I mean. Your boys are wonderful, but different. We help them with that. Different how? I push, keeping my voice steady. She leans in, repeats herself. Sweetheart, you know how certain neighbors talk. We're just keeping things comfortable. You already said that, I snap. What do you mean by comfortable? She sighs, tired and annoyed. It's about appearances, Keira. People talk when they see mixed families. I slide my phone onto the table, screen glowing with the recording app. Say what you mean, Mom. I want this on record. Her face drains of color. She stares at the phone. You're recording me? Your own mother? Yes. Now explain what you meant about my children being different. She stands up fast, grabbing her purse. I won't be ambushed. When you're ready to be reasonable, call me. After that, life shifts. Marcus takes the boys out for ice cream while I meet with the financial advisor. Sarah comes with me to the bank, and together we take my name off my parents' accounts. My therapist backs me up, says my boundaries are healthy, helps me sort through the guilt that creeps in anyway. Sasha tries to show up at my office again, but my coworkers run interference. Taylor blocks her at the front, Diane calls security, and James walks me to my car. At school, the counselor meets with Leo and Micah, gives them space to talk through everything. Your boys are remarkably resilient, she tells me later. They get more than you think. When the invitation comes for dinner at Marcus's parents' place, I breathe easier. Joyce greets Leo and Micah with open arms, no hesitation. Thomas brings them to his workshop after dinner, teaching them how to sandwood for a birdhouse. I watch from the doorway as Micah's small hands move carefully under Thomas's guidance. Smooth strokes, buddy. There you go. The difference hits me hard. No strings. No careful phrasing. Just love, plain and simple. Joyce hands me a cup of tea. They're wonderful boys, she says, like it's obvious. Thomas is so patient with them, I say. She smiles. That's family for you. Real family. Thomas looks up from his workbench. Family's about what you do, not who you're born to, Keira. Don't forget that. His words settle deep in my chest. Around these grandparents, my boys laugh without holding back, ask questions without fear, just exist, exactly as they are. The last meeting with my parents lands on a Sunday afternoon. I show up 20 minutes early, using the spare key they never knew I kept. The house is quiet, but I hear voices from the kitchen. I stop in the entryway listening. Keira always gets so dramatic, Beatrice sighs. The boys are sweet, but life's going to be harder for them. Better they learn young. At least she always brings money back, Sasha says. All business. She's our safety net. Then my father's voice, cold, final. The mixed ones will always be a little different. That's just reality. My fingers find my phone. I open the recorder and walk in. 3 heads whip around, shock, then calculation. I hold up my phone. Tell me more about the mixed ones, Dad. I'm listening. I stand there, phone in hand, daring them to keep going. They freeze, caught. I heard everything. And I recorded it. My voice sounds stronger than I feel. Warren recovers first, face shifting from surprise to indifference. You misunderstood, Keira. We were talking about how society treats kids like yours, not how we feel. No misunderstanding. I heard you loud and clear, what you really think about my children. Sasha's eyes go wide, hand flying to her throat. That's not fair. You're twisting our words. I unzip the portfolio and pull out a stack of spreadsheets. They're crisp, every transaction from the last 7 years laid out in black and white. I push them across the walnut table and watch everyone's eyes follow. $98,000. I tap the bottom figure, the one I circled in red. That's what I've given this family since I turned 27, and that doesn't even count co-signing your mortgage. Warren barely looks at the papers. Family helps family, he says, like it's a given. I stare at him. That's not help. It's parasitism. The word just hangs in the air, sharp as glass. Beatrice flinches, like I've slapped her. I reach into my folder for a typed statement I wrote out, just to keep things clear. I tell them I'm done. No more money ever. The automatic transfers have stopped, and I'm working with the bank to get my name off the mortgage. That'll take some time. Warren's face turns dark red. You don't just walk away from family. Watch me. Sasha's face crumples. Tears start falling. She's got it down to a science. We never meant it like that, she says. You're twisting our words. I've seen this act more times than I can count, the trembling lip, the little catch in her voice. It worked on teachers, boyfriends, and me. Not today. Beatrice presses a hand to her chest. Her voice drops to a whisper. Your father's blood pressure can't take this. Is that what you want? For him to end up in the hospital? I shake my head. Maybe you should have worried about his health before deciding my kids should eat scraps on the kitchen floor. Warren's voice goes cold. I wonder what Marcus's boss would think about all this. Mental stability matters at work, you know? The threat hits hard. Marcus's job at the university means everything to him. Sasha notices my hesitation right away. Maybe child services should know about family instability, she says. Beatrice chimes in. Pastor Williams was asking about your family just last Sunday. The church notices when people stop showing up together. The three of them come at me in perfect sync. For a second, I'm 7 years old again, trapped between Sasha's accusations and my parents' disappointment. The front door opens. Marcus's footsteps echo down the hall. He steps in next to me, silent and steady. He sets his phone on the table and presses play. Warren's voice fills the room. The mixed ones will always be a little different. It's just reality. Sasha gasps. You recorded us? Both of you? Threats won't change our decision, I say, quiet but steady. Marcus speaks up, calm and firm. Our kids won't be exposed to this again. I gather the spreadsheets and tuck them away. No more money. No more contact. No exceptions. Warren stands up and points at Marcus. You did this. You turned her against her family. Marcus doesn't budge. Keira makes her own decisions. Always has. I watch the realization move across my father's face. His old tricks, divide and conquer, don't work now. We're united. Beatrice reaches for my hand. I step away. We're done here, I say, and zip the portfolio shut for good. 2 months later, Sarah calls. Her cousin goes to my parents' church. They missed the mortgage payment. The bank sent notices. I feel a dull ache, but that's all. No guilt. The next week, Tom, Sasha's husband, calls Marcus. They're taking Sasha's car. She's been calling everyone, looking for loans. Marcus tells me over dinner, watching me close. How do you feel about it? He asks. Like I can finally breathe. 3 weeks after that, Warren tries to win sympathy at the church potluck, talking about my ungrateful abandonment. Pastor Williams asks some pointed questions about why I stopped helping. The story backfires. A month later, Tom leaves Sasha after finding out she ran up credit card debt in his name. Their suburban life crumbles without my money holding it up. I watch everything from a distance, and every day, that distance feels a little better. My therapist notices before I do. Your shoulders aren't up around your ears anymore, she says during a session. That night, Marcus slides into bed, his hand finding mine in the dark. You smile more. You sleep all night. Do I? Haven't heard you grinding your teeth in weeks. Leo doesn't ask about his grandparents as much. His nighttime anxiety fades. Micah's drawings change too, less shadow, more color. Stick figures holding hands, big goofy smiles. At work, I start speaking up in meetings without rehearsing every line. My boss notices. Your presentation to the executive team was exceptional. They're considering me for the senior management job. AGT funny, I never chased that kind of role. Too many family emergencies on weekends, not enough time left over for climbing the career ladder. It's a Tuesday night in June. The boys are finally asleep. Marcus clears a space on the kitchen table, spreading out a mess of colorful brochures. I blink. What's this? He grins. Summer vacation ideas. Just us. The 4 of us. I wait for the old panic to twist in my chest. How will my parents react if we don't visit? What excuse will I feed Sasha? But nothing tightens this time. I just feel weirdly light, almost giddy, as I look at beaches, mountains, sparkling lakes. The boys would love that waterfall hike, I say, tapping a shiny photo. Marcus's smile stretches. For tickets, then. No extended family discount needed. I lean into him, his breath steady and warm against my cheek. Just us. He says it too. Just us. His arms slip around my waist. I can almost feel the weight I've carried for years easing, one obligation at a time. Then reality comes slamming back. I hang up the phone, maybe a little too hard. My hand shakes. It's been 5 months since I cut off the money to my parents, and still, the calls won't stop. This time, Beatrice's voice trembled in that practiced way she uses when she wants to hit my guilt right between the eyes. We can't survive without help, Keira. We had to sell the house. I see their old place in my head, the house I co-signed for. Now, according to Mom, it's just a 2-bedroom apartment across town. There's a part of me that feels twisted satisfaction, but mostly, it's just that old, crushing sense of responsibility. Marcus slides a mug of tea beside my laptop. He doesn't say anything, but I can see the question in his eyes. They've moved to an apartment, I say, gripping the cup. Mom claims they're barely making ends meet. Marcus just nods, face unreadable. We've done this dance before. My phone buzzes. Sasha. You've gotten what you wanted. Happy now? Mom cried all night. They had to sell Dad's coin collection to pay rent. That last word, vindictive, hits like a slap. As if setting boundaries is the same as revenge. There's a family gathering Sunday, I announce, scrolling through more of Sasha's angry texts. Aunt Patty's hosting. Apparently, I'm the main topic lately. Marcus keeps his voice calm. Are we going? I shake my head. No way. But Sasha wants me to know they're taking up a collection at church for Mom and Dad's medical needs. I can't help the air quotes. Dad's blood pressure is their new favorite weapon. Marcus sits right next to me, solid and quiet. Your father called me yesterday. I jerk my head up. What? Why didn't you tell me? He shrugs. Wanted to see how it played out. He threatened to contest the mortgage removal. Talked about legal options, family obligations. My stomach turns to ice. Can he actually do anything? Marcus shakes his head. No. He just thinks the threat will scare you. The doorbell rings, jolting us both. I glance out the window, Sasha's silver SUV. Here we go. I'll get it, Marcus says, giving my shoulder a squeeze. Their voices drift in from the entryway, hers sharp and tight, his low and even. Then Sasha storms into the kitchen, heels clacking, purse slung over her arm. She looks thinner, and that fancy bag isn't as new as usual. Money's starting to pinch. We need to talk, she snaps, skipping hellos. I don't invite her to sit. Then talk. She glares. This has gone far enough, Keira. Dad's doctor says his health is getting worse from all the stress. Mom can't sleep. I shrug. I'm sorry to hear that. She rolls her eyes. No, you're not. You're punishing them because you can't handle the truth. I raise an eyebrow. Which is? She leans in, voice low. That when your boys grow up, the world won't treat them like everyone else. We were preparing them. My hands ball into fists under the table. By making them eat on the floor while your kids got the good china? She bristles. That was one time. I shake my head. It wasn't. You know it. She straightens up, trying a new angle. Mom says you're killing Dad with stress. Is that what you want? And when your boys are older, I'll make sure they know why their grandfather died. The threat sits there, ugly and heavy. Marcus stiffens beside me, but stays quiet. He knows I want to handle this. Anything else? I ask. Her eyes dart between us, hunting for weakness. She finds none. She grabs her purse. The whole family knows what you're doing. Everyone at church. Even the neighbors. They all see you for what you are. She leaves. Afterward, the urge to fix everything, just this once, just a little money to tide them over, hits me hard. The old habit of rescuing feels like an itch I can't scratch. Marcus puts his hand over mine. They survived before you. They'll survive now. I nod, but the words don't really reach me, not after 20 years of being taught to keep quiet and play along. That night, Leo climbs into bed with us, curling up against me while thunder rattles the windows. Even after the storm quiets down, he stays awake, lost in thought the way he gets sometimes, like he's carrying more years than just 7. "Mom," he whispers. "Is it because Dad's black?" I feel like the air just got sucked out of the room. In the soft glow from the nightlight, I see Marcus go still on the other side of the bed, eyes open, face impossible to read. "Why do you ask that, honey?" I manage, trying to keep my voice steady. Leo picks out a thread on the comforter. "Grandpa told Liam that kids like me and Micah have to work twice as hard because of our dad. The truth is right there, but I want to protect him." I look at Marcus, and the pain on his face is clear, even in the shadows. "Yes, honey," I say at last. "Some people have small minds, even people who are supposed to love you." Marcus's hand finds mine, reaching over our son. "Even Grandma and Grandpa?" Leo asks so quietly. "Yeah, even them. But that's their problem, not yours. That's why we don't go over there anymore." After Leo falls asleep, Marcus and I sit at the kitchen table, voices low. He tells me about the comments he's heard over the years, the little jabs, the jokes that weren't really jokes, how my dad would introduce him as just Keira's husband, never by his name. "I didn't tell you everything," Marcus says. "You are already stuck in the middle." Something settles inside me, a certainty I've been circling for months. We're doing the right thing. 6 months after everything blew up, Marcus walks in with news I never expected. "Your father called. Wants to meet for coffee." Just me. He looks wary. The meeting happens downtown at a neutral cafe. I can't sit still. I spend the hour pacing our kitchen, jumping every time I hear a car outside. When Marcus comes home, his face gives nothing away. "Your father apologized," he says. I blink, not sure I heard him right. "What for?" "For how he treated me. The boys." He says he's been doing a lot of thinking since the layoff. Realized some things about himself he's not proud of. The next day, Beatrice calls. Her voice is different, calmer, almost honest. "We want to try family counseling. All of us. We were wrong, Keira. We want to rebuild, not for money, for family." I don't flinch. "The money's gone," I say. "Love my kids or stay away. Those are the only terms." "I understand," she says. And for once, I almost believe her. In the months that follow, my old journal becomes a sort of healing tool in counseling. The financial records, the proof of how things used to be, sit in a folder on my desk, just in case. The recordings of their old words stay on my phone, untouched but there. Warren starts going to a local unconscious bias group. Honestly, it shocks all of us, including him. At our 3rd session, Beatrice breaks down. Not the polite, quiet tears I'm used to, but raw, ugly sobs. "I was raised with these beliefs," she says. "I want to be better." Sasha, well, she's slower to come around. She shows up, but barely speaks, walls still up. But by month 3, even she starts to admit the damage. We all meet for dinner at a not-fancy place, just to mark 3 months of counseling. For the first time I can remember, everyone pays their own bill. No one looks at me when the check comes. No one heads to the bathroom to dodge it. Across the table, my dad explains baseball to Micah, and I realize the balance has shifted. Not because we got revenge, like Sasha once accused, but because we set boundaries that should have been there all along. As we leave, Beatrice touches my arm. "Thank you for giving us another chance." I nod. I'm not ready to forgive everything, not yet, but I see how far we've come. "It's not for me," I tell her, watching my boys walk ahead with their grandfather. "It's for them. They deserve grandparents who see them, really see them." She follows my gaze, and for the first time, I see something genuine in her eyes. Maybe even understanding. A year later, I'm sitting back in my chair at Riverside Grill, nothing fancy, just warm lights and the smell of rosemary in the air. Warren leans in, listening to Leo describe his latest art project. "So then, I mix the blue and yellow," Leo says, waving his hands, "and my teacher said my trees looked just like the real ones outside our window." Warren grins, eyes crinkling. "That's talent, buddy. Maybe you can show me how to paint trees sometime?" No loaded meaning, no hidden test. Just a grandfather wanting to share in his grandson's world. Beatrice leans in close to Micah, tossing question after question about his baseball season. You caught that fly ball? Right at the fence? Micah lights up, sitting taller, pride replacing the old nerves. Coach says I'm good at tracking the ball, he says. Over at the kids' table, Sasha's kids and mine swap jokes and steal each other's fries, just cousins having fun. No one's jockeying for position. It's easy, natural, the way family should be. The scene could be a replay of our first dinner together, family around the table, but honestly, everything feels different. Micah talks about his science project award, not looking to us for approval. Leo tells stories like he's sure we're listening, no anxious glances. Warren turns to Marcus. How's the Sustainable Housing Initiative? Marcus explains, and Warren follows up, clearly paying attention for months now. Beatrice bounces between all 4 grandkids, helping Liam with his napkin, praising Micah's drawing. Sasha meets my eye across the table. That old entitlement in her face has faded. Now, she looks grateful. She's working again, her first full-time job in years, and it fits her well. When the check comes, everyone grabs their wallets. Nobody hesitates. No more weird financial tension, no secret debts. I've got mine, Sasha says, sliding her card into the folder. The waiter brings separate checks without asking. He knows us by now. Later, as we gather our coats, Marcus leans in. You stand taller now, he whispers, his breath warm at my ear. I squeeze his hand. I finally know my worth. Outside, Beatrice pulls me aside while the others wrangle the kids into their jackets. Losing your support was the best thing that happened to us, she says, steady and certain. It forced us to pay attention to what really matters. I nod. Our monthly family therapy keeps shaking loose these moments of growth, especially from Warren. He's digging deeper into his old prejudices than any of us expected. Beatrice and Marcus's mom have become coffee buddies, swapping stories about the grandkids and trading recipes. Even Sasha moves forward, just at her own pace. The drive home is quiet, calm. In the mirror, I catch Leo whispering something that sends Micah into a fit of giggles. Marcus reaches over, laces his fingers with mine, a warm, grounding touch. Best investment I ever made, I say, watching my boys in the back seat, was teaching them that respect isn't for sale and love doesn't come with strings attached. Marcus's grip tightens, and I drive us home, heading toward the life we built on honesty, not compromise. My sons laugh, light and free, the way kids are supposed to. In that sound, I hear our victory.